Welcome to a fashion doll shoes tutorial. This time I'm going to continue with these problem shoes I started in the previous video, but first there was a bit left out of that video and there was some important things you need to know, and this is an example. I've made these shoes a long time ago. In fact, I think this was the first time I used the method of sewing the uppers in place, and as you can see, these are chains, and in this material, this gold colored material, the rings are closed, so there's no need to worry about the thread getting out of the ring. But if you're using chains, they have an opening, and when you put the last link of the chain against the insole, make sure the opening is up, so that when the thread goes here at the bottom of the link, it can't get out of the link. If the opening is here at the bottom, the thread could go out if you pull the chain at some point, and I'd say it would be impossible to fix if the outer soles are glued in place. So you need to make sure, check each of the links you're going to sew in place, and you'll avoid a lot of problems later. But these new shoes, I've been thinking about how to fix the problem, and the most logical thing I've come up with is to use leather for the ankle strap. Put a leather piece inside and sew this metal piece into that leather, so it'll help the ankle strap to keep shape, so when you put it around the ankle it won't slide down, it'll stay in the correct place. And really at this point I'd say the best idea would have been to first make these straps out of leather and then put these metal parts on top of the leather straps, and that would have been probably a lot better, because it would help this structure keep its shape. As you can see, this is so floppy. It's really annoying, but I've come so far with this and I'll just have to fix what I can. So I have this leather which is almost the same color as the insoles, and I'm going to use it for the ankle strap, and I just need to cut thin strip. It doesn't need to be quite as wide as the ankle strap, just enough to help the strap keep its shape. And I'm cutting it longer than I need to, because it's always easier to remove excess. Adding extra length later is really hard. Well, it can be done, but the result usually won't be pretty. So there is, show you, it's almost twice the required length, so it's definitely enough. I'll just a bit neater, and then I'll cut another one the same length for the other shoe. I've been thinking about if I should have some sort of schedule for these videos, but it turns out that, at least at the moment, I've got so much work to do on weekdays that the schedule is really that I can only make videos on weekends, if even that. That may change later. It's basically, it depends on how much work I have, as I'm a freelancer. That can vary a lot. And then I'll need some of this thread. I'm using the same thread I used for these metal parts. Needle here, and then trying to get it there. Okay. And then just sewing this in place, and it's same way as for the metal parts, going through the rings in the upper edge, and I need to try to get it fairly close to the edge. So I'm trying to make this so that the leather strap won't show much underneath. And that's why I chose this color, because it's not that noticeable. I'm not starting right in the end, just leaving a bit of extra there, although I shouldn't need that, because the closing mechanism I'm planning to use with these won't require any extra length in the strap. So I'm thinking about making just a regular hook and loop system, but this leather is too thick to double to forming the loop using the leather strap, so I'll use fabric for that. Now if I can only see where the ring is. Yeah, I think it's there. It's really hard to see these rings. Now what was I saying? Oh yes, about the closing mechanism. I'm going to put a lot of metal, use the metal wire I was originally planning to use, make a hook using that, and then attach it to one end of the strap, and then use fabric to create the loop in the opposite end, and that should work. And then I think I'll probably leave some of this leather strap on the side where the hook is going to be, so it'll cover the closing mechanism, and that should look nicer. But I haven't really tried that before, so I'll just have to try and see how it works. I think it should work, but well, these straps should have worked. I was thinking they would work and they didn't, so I'm not saying that the planned closing mechanism will certainly work, but see, I hope it'll work. And if you're hearing a humming sound, that's the dishwasher ending its cycle. I thought it had already finished, but it hadn't. I'm only going to sew this metal piece in the upper edge. There should be no need to sew the lower edge, because the gravity will take care of keeping it on top of the leather strap. No need for any extra work. If it can be avoided. Well, now this is cool. Okay. Just a little bit more. And then if this doesn't work, then I honestly don't know what else I could do. But I'm fairly confident that this is the solution to the problem, but we'll see. And one thing I can say for sure is that I am not going to use this material for another pair of shoes. I'll figure some other use for the remaining. There isn't much of this gold colored left, but I have two 10 by 10 centimeter pieces of silver colored, and those will probably become armor for a 16-inch doll, because I have a helmet for her and some other stuff that I can use for creating battle armor, and that's something I've been thinking of doing for quite some time, and it should be interesting, and at least that should only require attaching metal pieces into each other. But now that I've said it, it probably will be a lot more complicated than I imagined. I'm not sure when I'm going to start that project, but at some point. I think it's been several years since I got that helmet. It's a Lord of the Rings collectible, so it looks nice in the bookshelf, but I really want to use it for a doll. Okay, now the metal strap is sewn in place, and then I'll need some glue to secure the ends of the thread, and I'm really thinking of putting glue also here all the way where the threads go here inside, just in case something breaks, and the glue will ensure that only one ring will come loose if the thread breaks, because the glue will keep the rest of the thread. This is probably not a very necessary step, but it's always good to think in advance of the problems that may arise and do something about them before they arise. So that should secure the thread all the way, and then just the other end. And as these are inside the strap, they won't show, so it doesn't matter that there are extra pieces, these ends. Yeah. Okay, then I'll need to let that one dry, and I'm going to do the same for the other one, but I'm not going to record that. Now the glue is dry, and we can try the next step. First, just trim those threads. Okay. Where did the other one go? There. And then we'll take a foot and put this in place. And it's really much easier to handle now. it looks a lot better this way. And as I was waiting for the glue to dry, I started thinking that maybe I should try to make a buckle, but actually that gap here, this one, it's so short that the buckle may not be a good idea after all. I wonder. Yeah, I think I'll go with the original plan, and that means first I'll check that this is in the correct place, and then I'll cut off the excess here. How much? That much. Leaving a little bit here so that when this one goes on top, it should cover the closing mechanism. Or maybe that's not such a good idea. This is really tricky because once I cut it, there's no going back. Okay, a bit more. Right, this is the part where I'm going to make the loop, and the hook will come to this other part, and the loop is really easy. I have this fabric I have treated with sealer, and I'm going to use that for making the loops and attaching the hooks. So I need 4 pieces, and it should be approximately the same width as the ankle strap. Yeah. I think this is just enough for 4 pieces. Now let's put those away. Then cutting that one in the middle here. So making the loop is really easy. Just need a bit of glue. And then you glue the end of this piece here to the end of the strap. Like this. And then you turn this to the inside, and you just cut it and glue the other end here, leaving a loop here where you can then insert the hook which will be here in the opposite part. And you can either put it like this so that the loop will be over the end of the strap, or you can hide it inside like this. That's really it. Well, it depends on many factors, but the main thing is you should use the method that doesn't make the strap too thick, because the whole point of using this method is to keep the strap fairly thin. Otherwise it would be easiest just to fold this leather and make the loop this way, but this is fairly thick. It may not look that nice, but it's the easiest way. So if you don't mind the slightly clumsy look, then it's definitely an option. Basically, the way you want to make the shoes look is really, it's a matter of taste. I've seen all kinds of doll shoes, and the main difference is that you have doll shoes that look like doll shoes, so that when you see a picture, even if you don't have anything to show the scale, you can immediately see it's a doll shoe. And then there are the kind of shoes I always try to make, the kind that you need to have some indication in the photo that it really is a doll shoe, or otherwise you could think that it's a real one. And I'm not saying I can do that always, but it's what I try to do, because I want to make doll shoes that look like real ones. And that's really one of the reasons why I don't sew so much, because if you have visible stitches, it's really hard to make them so small that they fit the scale. So I prefer treating fabrics with sealer and using glue, because then you have no stitches and there's one factor removed that will easily reveal the true scale. Now there's the loop, and then the hook. But first, and I'll check this. It's going to be a bit difficult to get this tight enough, this ankle strap, so it needs to be snug, but fortunately this leather underneath will help a lot in making it look alright, but it still shouldn't be too loose. Well, let's just try that. So, making the hook, here's the metal wire I used earlier. And now I'll need to measure how wide the strap is. Take it here and turn it like this. Then here, and then this is basically a variation of a buckle, and now I'm just trying to make it short enough that it'll work with that space I've got there. Okay, so it looks like this, and if you're making a buckle, you would just bend it here at the bottom to close it, and that would be a buckle. But in this case, I'm leaving the bottom open because, let's see, I'll leave a bit of excess here at this point just in case. So this goes through here like this, and it's attached to this opposite side. Let's see. Then I'll need to move that end of the wire to the outside, because if it's here on the inside it could scratch the doll's leg, so it's better to have it here on the outside. And the way to attach this is to use a piece of this fabric. Let's see where it should go. Let's put this back here. Okay, it goes about the same place where the metal ends. So first I'm going to glue one end of this fabric strip. Should be the right place, and now I think it's best to let that dry before continuing, so it will stay in place securely while I'm adjusting it. The glue is now dry, and while I was waiting for it to dry I did the same steps for the other shoe, but now I can continue with this first one, and we'll see if this is going to work. And I also made this a bit smaller because it needs to be as short as possible. I'll put it here in the loop. Maybe I'll need to this first. This is how it will go in place, just using this piece of fabric. Okay, I'll cut that away, it'll be easier to handle. And I just want to check that it's alright before I glue that fabric in place. Yeah, it should be tight enough. So the next thing is to, let's take it away and okay, put it back here, and then I'll need a bit of glue. So almost dry. More than almost. It is dry, but let's see if this doesn't work. I'll take some new. Okay, this works. And then I'm going to tighten this here. This and press it in place. And this hook needs to be shortened, and I think I could do that right now. I'll leave it a bit longer than the bottom of this loop here. 1 or 2 millimeters longer. And another thing that's a good idea is to bend this end of the wire slightly outwards so it won't scratch the doll's foot. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's now a bit outwards, and it should still, you should be able to get it to the loop. Let's see, we'll just cut the excess here. I wonder if that will stay in place well enough to try this and see that it works like it should. So just put that part through the loop and it closes the. Okay, why does that one? Damn it, there's again one of the prongs is somewhere where it shouldn't be. If I could only see. Where's the problem? How can I? Okay, I wonder if that's good Okay. And then I'll just close it. Right, now it should be. Those stupid prongs just keep opening and getting tangled, going places where they shouldn't be. And all I can say is that I don't recommend anyone to use this kind of material for doll shoes. It's not worth all the trouble. But I'm just, well, I'm so far gone that I'm going to finish these. Whatever it takes. Okay, and then as you can see here, I'm going to cut it somewhere here so this piece will cover this structure underneath, and then I'll just hope it won't stick too much to the side. And I think if I can find something suitable, I could add some decoration here, but that's not really necessary, but it's a possibility. But yeah, at least I could actually cut the excess away right now. And one of those plates is, I think I'll need to sew this end to the strap, because it doesn't stay in the right position. It should be straight, but it's going backwards. Damn it. Yeah, I'll need to sew that one. Maybe it'll be okay. And this is going to stick a bit to the side, but maybe not too bad. Oh. I think that's all for now. Yeah, but that's all for now, and I'll need to think about what to do next.